In 2024, we spent 3 amazing weeks on the beautiful island of Ireland and have captured the highlights of our trip in a series of videos. Join us as we discover and explore a land of rich history, stunning landscapes, vibrant culture, and one that has a profound family connection for us.
In this episode, we continue our Grand Irish road trip. We travel along the Wild Atlantic Way, visit Killarney, the Black Valley, and the car finally gets a name.
We structured this road trip in such a way that we would be able to see sights along the way. The plan is to hit the road the first thing each morning and see as many sights as we can before getting to the next hotel or Airbnb.
We leave the Kinsale Hotel and Spa at 9 a.m. and head out for a very busy day. But first we need to fuel up. We were surprised to find out that here in Ireland it's on a trust system. You fuel up and then you go in to pay. I don't think that I've seen that in the States since the late 80s.
I kind of figured it was a trust-based system. I saw that guy go in after he filled.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Brilliant. Hello, it's our first fill up in Ireland. We're excited.
Hey, first fill.
Yeah. Thank you.
Our first stop of the day is the Old Head of Kinsale. The end of the peninsula is a golf course, and as we pulled up, we were very politely told that we were not allowed on the course without a tee time. The gentleman at the gate did give us a tip for a hiking path very nearby, with great views. Along the way, we ran into some fellow Ohioans from Cincinnati who had shipped their pickup truck and camping gear to Ireland for their 5-month camping trip around the island with their golden retriever.
Birds. A little bit more reasonable than that way. I feel. I could be wrong. I think this is what he was talking about, that you can see the whole peninsula from this side. Good. No, just slower. Just slower, that's all. As we finished up our hike, we ran into a lovely British couple. We sat and visited with them for a while. They had taken the ferry over with their camping van and were set to explore Ireland for the next couple of weeks.
He said this pathway is the best place to see it. Just down the road is a monument to the Lusitania, which sunk 9.5 nautical miles from the Old Head of Kinsale on May 7, 1915. Museum and Memorial was opened in 2015 to commemorate the 100th anniversary. We also got some shots of the Wild Atlantic Way sign for the Old Head of Kinsale.
Very cool. So each of the major discovery points, I think, has one of these signs.
Okay. We
went down some narrow country roads to get to our next stop, the Dromberg Stone Circle. Once we parked the car, we had about a 5-minute walk through the fields to get to the stones. What's your guys' names? This is Ireland's best preserved and most famous stone circles. It consists of 17 standing stones arranged in a near-perfect circle and dates back to the Bronze Age, around 1100 to 800 BC. The circle is aligned with the setting sun during the winter solstice and had ritual and ceremonial importance. Close to the circle are the remains of ancient huts and an ancient cooking site, suggesting that people lived and cooked here at least for part of the year.
We spent a lot more time here than we expected to. There's just something serene and calming about this spot, but we had a long way to go to get to our next destination, one of the must-see sights of the Wild Atlantic Way, Mizen Head.
So right here at this corner, I think might be a good selfie spot with those things in the background, peninsulas. It's amazing how turquoise that is down there, huh?
Yeah, the limestone.
Is that what it is?
One of Mizen Head's highlights is the iconic footbridge. Suspended high above the Atlantic, it offers a panoramic view of the crashing waves and the steep cliffs below. Crossing the bridge is a thrilling experience, but not for the faint of heart.
At the end of the trail is the historic signal station. We were able to tour some of the buildings and view how people would have lived and worked here. I think we'd have gotten the idea without the mannequins, though. They were a bit creepy.
Once a critical communication hub, it now serves as a viewing point of the Atlantic Ocean, and on a clear day you can spot seals, dolphins, migrating whales, as well as a variety of seabirds.
That's not big at all. I know, right? Did you see the guy on the bed? He's really creepy. Critters, I guess you can see out the window. The raw beauty of the cliffs, framed by wildflowers and crashing surfs, makes every moment here breathtaking. It was absolutely amazing. Back in the Mizen Head Visitor Center, we explored the exhibits about the area's maritime history before heading back to the car.
This was our last stop of the day, about an hour away from our hotel, the Mariner Hotel in Bantry. Our hotel room had an amazing view of Bantry Harbor. We grabbed a bite to eat and walked around the town before turning in for the night.
That's it. I'm sorry I brought you to such a terrible place, babe. Ooh, it's chillier than I thought it was going to be. What kind of traps are those? Part of John's family is from the Killarney area in County Kerry, and today that is our destination. We got up early and hit the road after an amazing breakfast.
The drive wasn't too bad, even though some of the roads were narrow. We seemed to be getting used to that. The worst part was dealing with some of the tunnels that only had a single lane. We had to guess at when other cars might be coming. That was a little bit stressful.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you come out and it's like, boom, okay. I'm going to spray some water on you just for the fun of it. Nice.
County Kerry.
Oh. Cork, Kerry!
Before long, we decided we need a mental and bio break and pulled in to check out Molly Gallivan's cottage. This is a 200-year-old cottage and traditional farm with lots of cute souvenirs. It was a nice break, and we even got to see some sheep before heading back out on the road.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know these guys were out here. Can you get a picture of the baby for me? Thank you. Pretty if it wasn't fucking raining.
Our next stop was in Killarney National Park. We stopped by the famous Ladies' View. This view offers stunning panoramic of the lakes of Killarney and the surrounding mountainous landscape. The name Ladies' View comes from a visit by Queen Victoria's ladies in waiting in 1861. They were reportedly enchanted by the breathtaking views, and the name has stuck ever since. It started raining, but John was still able to get some amazing photos.
we drove up the road just a little further to Kate Kearney's cottage. This place has been part of stories in my family for quite some time. My dad told these stories, and then my cousin Kathy, again, when we visited her in Dublin, reminded me of those stories. When my grandmother, who we called Nana, moved to the States, she would arrange by letter with her family dates and times when they could call her. To do that, they had to hike through the Gap of Dunloe to Kate Kearney's cottage and use their phone in order to make those calls. There was no phone service or electricity in the Black Valley in those days. So these are stories that we all grew up with, and it was very meaningful to see the place where those phone calls happened.
Behind the cottage, they were giving horse and trap rides up to the Gap of Dunloe, and we decided to try it. Our driver, Danny, was very friendly and a wealth of information on the area.
We're in trouble. My husband said, we're not driving this ourselves, are we?
Not today, anyway. Come up, Charlie. All right, then. Come on, Charlie, come on. Come on. So where are you heading for after the gap then?
We're going to go back a valley.
It's at the end of this road.
Oh, okay.
You'll also be looking into the valley from Ladies View.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
from
was looking
Ladies-
into Black
yeah.
Valley. Okay.
You'll be going down, when you'll be going along from Moll's Gap to the valley, Moll's Gap to Ladies View. On your left hand side you'll see a road underneath you. That'll be the road going out from the valley on the other side.
Okay.
And when you stop at Moll's Gap at Ladies View, looking this direction, you'll see the houses and
Yes.
the church and all
Right.
inside the valley.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. That's where his people were from originally. Black
Valley, is that right?
Yes.
Who were that then?
Yeah.
That's still Sullivan's. There was Sullivan fathers, and there was Sullivan's alongside him, and down the end of the valley then you had there was more Sullivans. There was 3 different families of Sullivans.
Okay.
Were they related? I don't think they were.
We reached our turnaround point on the ride, and it immediately became obvious to me that I had seen this scene before. As it turned out, when my parents and my dad's siblings visited Ireland together years ago, they had taken a photo of the Gap of Dunloe looking back towards Kate Kearney's cottage, and I had painted that image for a high school project. So it was very cool to get that feeling of I've been here before, even though I had never been here
That
before.
would be far back
That's
at all.
true. That's very true.
Exactly right.
Whoa,
That's so
there.
beautiful.
This is the echo lake here now, folks. So we'll call for the echo. Hello!
Wow.
Woo-hoo! Hello! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Brilliant. Echo Lake.
So how are you getting on with the driving over here?
It was so far so good. The first couple of days were an adjustment. We had one casualty. We lost the cover to our passenger side mirror.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's what we figured it probably is.
To go slow is the main thing.
That's
Yes.
what we started to figure out.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
After the carriage ride, we got a bite to eat at the cottage. Visiting the cottage and the Gap was truly magical, and as we walked back to the car, it became clear that we now have a name for our beloved Mini Cooper. Her name is Charlotte, but we call her Charlie for short, after the lovely pony that pulled us up the Gap of Dunloe.
That's a new one.
That night, we stayed in Killarney Lodge in the heart of the town of Killarney. It's a quaint guest house, and we had an enjoyable rest here.
That's the napping bed. That's the sleeping bed.
Next morning, we headed out to visit the Black Valley. Along the way, we stopped at Ladies View again to see if we could get a picture without the rain.
For some reason, I thought that was on the other side of Ladies View, but it's
The previous day's adventures informed us that the Gap of Dunloe was not for driving, so we drove instead through Mull's Gap into the Black Valley. While this route was easier, it still consisted of single-lane curvy roads and sheep blocking the way. When we were in Dublin, Kathy shared the story with us that our Nana, who was from the Black Valley, her family and a family that they married into, the Sullivans and the Caseys, played a significant role in building this church, Our Lady of the Valley Church. My aunt, Macy, who was Kathy's mother, had contributed over the years to support this church. And Kathy had told us that they had a indication of appreciation for her. So we were looking for a brick or some sort of plaque, and were surprised to find a stained glass window, one of only 8 in the church, dedicated to her. That caught me off guard, quite emotional at that discovery. So this was a very special stop. So grateful for Mishka for making this happen, and for Kathy for telling us the story. And this is a very special place.
so cool. Like,
We had a very moving visit in the Black Valley and at the church. We tried to leave, but this guy did not want us to go. We eventually cleared the road and were able to move on to drive part of the famous Ring of Kerry.
classic. Classic.
Hey.
Give me a bye. Big bye? Big bye?
We can wait here all day just like you.
You're a tough guy. You're a tough guy, aren't you? Bah. Is that your baby?
We'll go over there.
It is a little baby. I'm gonna be in the middle. I'm taking my half out of the middle. Bye, friend. Bye. Boy. Classic.
Classic Ram. We stopped for lunch in a village called Sneem, and we noticed as we pulled in lots of indicators of an imminent bike race that was going to come through town. So we decided to have a quick lunch and get out of town before we got caught behind the traffic. As we proceeded up the road and got to the highlands near a place called Waterville, a police officer urgently informed us that we needed to move off the side of the road. He blocked our way. We pulled over, and within minutes, the bike race came past. So we didn't avoid it after all. But we had a great view and got to see a unique scene with bike racers zipping past.
Oh, here comes the next group. Let's go! I don't know if I've ever...
After the bikers had cleared, we were allowed to continue on our next stop, Kerry Cliffs. The Kerry Cliffs are stunning and are one of the most dramatic and breathtaking cliff formations in the country. Here they have examples of beehive huts that are constructed from large stones stacked in a conical shape with a small entrance and a low ceiling. The technique used allows for surprisingly sturdy structures that can withstand harsh weather, such as Ireland's frequent rain and winds.
Rising 1,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean, the cliffs offer panoramic views of Skellig Islands, Puffin Island, and the rugged coastline of the wild Atlantic Way. They are amazing and rival the cliffs of Moher in their beauty.
A short drive from the cliffs is Portmagee, a small village with stunning views of Valentine Island and the Atlantic Ocean. We walked around this quaint town until it was time to check into our hotel. We stayed in the moorings, and they have a great view of the harbor and an amazing restaurant.
These stops that we made today affected me a lot. I wasn't sure how much they would. In fact, if you had asked ahead of time, I would have said not very much, but they did. They affected me a lot. It's something very special to visit the place where your family originated. Join us in our next episode where we stay in a cottage in the Irish countryside, visit more stone circles, view amazing cliffs as we make our way toward the end of the Wild Atlantic Way.